I'd like to actually ask Christina to come onto the stage for a start, because everybody always thanks Vida and myself. Sorry now, Vida. But nobody actually thanks Christina. So Christina's programme manager on the sepsis programme. I'm not asking you to bring up the awards. I'm only asking you to come up. And you know the way there's a magic fairy that does things and they happen? This is the magic fairy. So Christina, thank you very much for all your work. And before I hand over to Vida, I'd also acknowledge our sepsis ADONs, because you've done a fabulous job. A personal thanks to Mary in our area, but in all the areas, you've all done an amazing job in helping all of us, because I'm now in de Beaumont on the ground trying to implement the sepsis guidelines. So thank you to all of you as well. So unlike most of the time, I'm going to leave the last word to somebody else, and it's to the force that is Dr. Vida Hamilton.
Thank you, everyone. And I get the nice job today of giving the awards. I have a couple of slides that I'd like to show. So our next event will be in December the 8th of this year, when we will be launching the first of our national sepsis outcome reports based on the HYPE data that's been described here earlier. So in that report, we'll be showing trends over the past 5 years. We will be showing the mortality rates, lengths of stay, and we will ICU admission rates and ICU mortality rates as our severity adjustment. We'll also be publishing mortality and length of stay data based on a hospital by hospital basis, assuming there are more than 5 cases in any one hospital. So if you've less than 5, it'll be excluded. And I suppose this is the reason why. Our cardiology colleagues have very successfully over the past 10 years brought in time-dependent pathways for the management of acute myocardial infarction. And with that successful introduction, they've decreased their mortality rates by 40%. More recently, we have had the FAST program for patients presenting with ischemic stroke. And with the successful implementation of that program, they've demonstrated a decrease in mortality by 13.6%. So just to look at the values, if you have an acute myocardial infarction in Ireland, your mortality rate is 6.4%. If you develop sepsis in Ireland, your mortality rate is 20%, 3 times higher. And there's been no change in that mortality rate over the past 5 years. So the fundamental basis of why we're here is to introduce time-dependent pathways so that we can decrease our national mortality rates from sepsis. 2015, and our mortality rate in 2015, not to preempt December too much, is 20%. Really acts as our baseline year. It's our year 0, because we only started to see the forms being introduced towards the end of last year, and really more so in the beginning of this year. So it'll be a useful baseline to mark our improvement from going into the future. Our national report will be published annually after this year. So many thanks to our national sepsis team. We're now 8, which is fantastic. We've increased from 1. This is Christina's 3rd summit. She organises these all by herself, so our many thanks to her and acknowledgement of her increasing expertise at doing it. And I'd like to, just before I go on to the awards, I'd like to extend a particular thanks to Bernie. She's still with us. She is. Come up, Bernie. So we've had independent assessors assessing our posters and assessing our oral presentations here today. So I'm delighted to announce the results. So our best oral presentation is by Miss Sarah Watkins from University Hospital Limerick Group. So, thank you. So congratulations, a fantastic, a very exciting piece of work that was very new to me. I'm very conscious of the fact that the patient in that transition period between triage and medical assessment is in a very vulnerable spot, so it's wonderful to see such a tool being developed. Our best poster presentation, I'd like to congratulate Helen O'Donovan and her group from Cork University Hospital, if there's a representative present. I hope you've all had the opportunity to look at the posters. I mean, people always see this. Thank you for the logo. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic. We had more than 25 fantastic posters, so it's quite a recognition of the quality of the work. And finally, it gives me really great honour to announce the best Sepsis Quality Improvement Initiative in an emergency department in the state, based on our compliance audit results and looking for an improvement. And yes, well done, Cavan General Hospital.
Thanks very much. There's no I in the team, so it's all about the team to have it often. Thank you. Thank you.
So that concludes our Sepsis Summit. I would like to particularly acknowledge before you leave Miss Geraldine Shaw from the Office of Nursing and Midwifery, who gave us the seed funding for our e-learning programme. If it wasn't for Geraldine, we would have no e-learning programme. We were able to get started, and then that was subsequently followed with promises from acute hospitals to tease out the rest of the money. So many thanks to Geraldine and to the Office of Midwifery and Nursing for their ongoing support for the sepsis programme. And thank you to Dara, who gave a fantastic talk and who is the producer of our e-learning programme. Orion Learning, who's the company who put it together for us. Grania and Deirdre, who are part of our HYPE audit committee, who helped me crunch the numbers. Fidelma, of course, who always was fantastic as an MC. I don't know how she does it. To Anya, to Colin and to Kathleen from the HSE and the Department of Health, who've really been a great support to us and ensure that we get to do what we feel we need to do to improve our patients' safety. So thank you very much, everyone, and thanks to you.